Greetings, my name is Tio, and today I wanted to share one of the, if not the best, Dragon Piercer bow builds. If you're one that likes lots of big numbers and a potential to break body parts and sever tails in one single shot, then you definitely have come to the right place. And if you don't believe me, just watch how I severed the tail of this Kushala Daora without even having engaged in battle. This build is all about positioning yourself and releasing the bowstring at just the right time for some mind-blowing hits. And I know that you guys mostly are after stats and equipment rather than having me brag this into the sky, so let's just jump into it. So, the stats, the meat and bones for why this setup works the way it works. To have high hits and crits, you gotta go strong with the attack boost, and that's what we did. So we ended up with level 7 attack, which of course is plus 21 attack, and 5% crit. Critical draw 3 for 100% extra critical strike chance, and of course with the Sarah coil having negative 30%, we have up to 75% crit chance on a draw attack, counting in the extra 5% you get from the attack stat. Next up we have the sheath level 3, which all comes from decorations, making those draw attacks feeling like they really aren't draw attacks at all. And for the remaining 30, 25 or 15% crit, depending on your attack stat and augment, you have the level 2 weakness exploit to make up for it, making every draw attack you do on body parts and weak spots a critical hit. And now we get to the percentages. The damage boost, the flat out damage increase for our main damage ability. Special ammo boost level 2. Increases the power of your bowgun, special ammo and dragon piercer by 20%. 20%! 20% is a lot, but it doesn't stop there. We also have the piercing shots level 1, which increases the power of dragon piercer ammo even further. And I'm not sure whether it's 10 or 20% as I haven't bothered doing the number crunching, but it stacks with a special ammo boost. And on top of that we have the bow charge plus, which increases max bow charge level by 1, which basically means instead of having your bow glow 2 times after drawing an arrow, it can glow 1 additional time, which also increases the dragon piercer even further, and everything else you charge your bow for. And on top of that we have the non-elemental boost level 1, which powers up non-elemental weapons by 20% attack, which works splendidly for the Sarah Coilbender as it's a non-elemental weapon. And we also have this Bombardier skill, which basically just is a bonus since you most likely will be the one waking up the monster with a booming dragon piercer, but it's not crucial to the set. And now to the gear. What armor do I actually use here? Now, as you can see here, it starts off with a Black Diablo's bow, the Sarah Coilbender, which don't really need an augment, but if you want an augment for it, you should definitely go with an attack increase for this particular build rather than the affinity increase which you see on my bow. I just haven't really gotten the last augment for it, but when I get it, I will make another bow and increase the attack on that one, having 2 bows for it. This bow has power and paralysis coating, but you will mostly be using power coating to get those crazy numbers. Into the bow I have 2 attack jewels, but if you only have 1, that's fine too. You can just change it with, I don't know, whatever. Next up we have the headgear, which is the Dragon King eye patch, which of course has 2 weakness exploit and a level 3 slot for decorations. This slot will be occupied by the pierce jewel, or the piercing shot jewel, which it's also referred to as. Now, if you don't have that one, you could always put in a crit boost or a part breaker jewel and change the attack charm with a piercing shot charm instead, until you get your decoration for it. For the chest we have the Kaiser Mail B, which has 2 special ammo boost stats and 2 level 1 decoration slots, which will be occupied with the sheath jewels. Next up we have the Basal Vambraces B, which of course are the hands. They come with a critical draw level 2 and has a level 3 jewel slot, which we only fill with a level 2 decoration. The decoration slot is occupied by the Mighty Bow Jewel 2, which gives you the bow charge plus skill. Bringing us to the pants of the family, the Nergigante Coil B, which has 2 attack and a level 2 slot for decoration. Here we put the Elementalist Jewel to get the non-elemental boost. These pants could of course be changed out by the Uragan Coil B with the loss of 1 attack if you have 1 extra attack jewel to spare, just to get +1 part breaker. But in my opinion, you don't really need to break monster parts any faster than you already are. And for the feat, we go for the Basil Greaves A. This gives you a level 2 Bombardier, which isn't really needed, but it's nice to have if you're gonna wake up the dragon with a booming Dragon Piercer, as mentioned before. What we really are after with these shoes are the level 1 critical draw and the decoration slot. After that we have the Attack Charm 3 or the Piercer Charm, if you happen to be lacking the piercing decoration. Now, how do you play? It's not really much to it. You unsheath your weapon if it's sheathed, you press R2 to start charging. This will make sure your attack is a draw attack. Then you position yourself and press triangle and circle or Y on B on Xbox. Aim and shoot. The important thing is to hit the monster on its longest or widest and to make sure you get some weak spot hits, like the head to tail or the wingspan of the monster, as the arrow travels through the monster and pierces the entirety of the way through it. This can give you whopping numbers like 700 to a potential 2000 damage or more in one single arrow. So needless to say, big and long monsters are what you want to use the build on, and preferably monsters you can time to stand still for good periods of time. After you have fired your arrow, you unsheath, rinse and repeat. As for charging the bow, you can hold R2 until it glows 3 times. You can also dodge strictly after you hit R2 and dodge 2 more times as the bow gets 1 charge per dodge. You can also hit R2, let the 2 first parts of the charge and then dodge right after. This one is the quickest one, by the way. Or you could dodge into running and charging if you're avoiding and trying to position yourself. Another thing you can do is to try to time it so that when a monster charges at you, you dodge it and ready an arrow for the placement you think the monster will land. This of course might take some training, but will increase the damage output as you will get more hits in a shorter amount of time. If you hit well, that is. You could of course take down small monsters too, but this will at times definitely not be as fun as taking down huge slow monsters like, say, Xenojiva, Basil Juice or Kushala Daora, as you will only get a couple of hits on them compared to, well, you know. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this build or this video, a thumbs up would help out a lot. I'm also gonna do a 1-minute run with a bow on Nergigante, so if you want to see that, feel free to subscribe. As well as I have a Let's Play channel down in the description if you're interested in that. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope you have a great hunt, and until next time, so long.